everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of the Building Lamier Lead podcast. So this episode's gonna be fairly quick, just like all my other ones. I just want to jump right into it. So last night, right before I went to bed, I was watching the video, and it was from a designer. He's been around for a good amount of years. You know, he worked with a lot of brands and a lot of certain like celebrities and stuff like that. His name is Ass Pizza, if you don't know. But long story short, I randomly was on YouTube and I randomly saw one of his videos, and he was talking about, I believe, how he's preparing for a Skims collab, right? And I'm watching the video, and he's in a garment district, and he walks out one of the fabric stores, whatever, or like a manufacturer. And he showed like the camera guy his phone. He had negative 1,800 in his account. I'm gonna put a screenshot probably right here, right? And for some reason, that right there stuck out to me so much in that whole video. And like he started making a joke, or he just started to say, he was like, "This is stuff that they don't show you." And even I remember it's a brand in New York. It's called Cloudy Donuts. And they own Cloudy Donuts is a donut shop in New York. They have one in Soho and they have one in Brooklyn. Even I remember one of the owners, Derek, he was like, "Yo, I got my credit cards taken away from me at one point. I got this, that, and the third, like a whole bunch of crazy stuff that was happening in his business early on, or even like later on in his business. But he just never gave up." But now let's connect it back to the video I was watching last night. So literally the next day, like I said, the guy's name is Ass Pizza. That's his name. But he had a Skims collab literally coming out the next day, and then he said he'd probably have an art show that he'll sell like $1,000 painting that he made the next day as well. So it's just like seeing that, right, and seeing how long he's been in the game. Like he's been around for a minute, and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, yo, I feel some type of way when I see like my numbers that low on my account. Granted, it's never been negative thousands, but one of my business accounts was definitely negatives before, and this was recently. I'm just now getting out of it, right? And I seen that, I'm like, oh, I'm not alone. And I think sometimes, and I'm gonna title this episode "The Uncomfortable Truth." Like we're gonna talk about the ups and the downs, right? Because one minute I had to notice you're gonna be up. Like my up personally was earlier last year. At the beginning of last year after I graduated college, I decided to have a pop up. That was probably like closer to some of the most money I've seen in my business account or any of my accounts in like a day or like at a time. That's probably like the most money I've seen in a day like pop into my business account after like everything like got wired over and stuff. And I was sitting there and I was like, oh wow, like this is crazy. So that was an up, right? I was like, okay, I probably won't have a regular job again, da. All of a sudden, business fees and expenses start to come. You gotta start paying stuff and all that other stuff, right? So I seen it drop again, and I just started to see it drop. Sales started to slow down. I wasn't releasing. Drop. I wasn't being as consistent as I needed to be to try to get more funding. Drop, and it just kept dropping. And then literally the end of last year, but right before I moved to Atlanta, that's when everything like kind of changed in a sense, right? I probably saw myself at the lowest in terms of financially and all this other stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, God. Like literally I was watching the video, I said, okay, God, I'm noticing that this is somewhat of a normal thing. And I'm not saying we're gonna normalize, being to your last all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But in being an entrepreneur and a business owner, especially in the early stages, if you don't have a big backer or a certain backers, it's gonna be a lot of ups and downs. And I'm realizing now, it's really the people who do not give up. It's the people who decide, okay, you know what? I may be down in this moment, but I truly believe in this vision that by tomorrow or very soon, I'm gonna be up again. So let me just continue to prepare myself and continue to keep the main thing, and keep working, right? Even last week in my Bible study, right? We was talking about different scriptures, and we was like alluding to scriptures and how certain people in the Bible didn't feel like they had a purpose in a sense, because I guess like they didn't see certain movements or motion in a sense, and then God pretty much reaffirmed them, right? And then the guy who was hosting, he connected it back to like someone who's living now. So let's say he gave an example of Michael B. Jordan, right? So he was saying how, and like when Michael B. Jordan was done with his, like not done, but like in terms of acting career when he was like when he was young, noticed that a lot of the stuff that was going on started to slow down. So one day Michael B. Jordan was in his car in LA. He was just sitting in the car, and he literally said like, "Should I just give up now?" And this was at a time like right before he shot Fruitvale Station, because like mind you, everything he said started to just slow down after he got of a certain age, and like his childhood, like the child actor was like done. Like he wasn't a child at that point. He was I forgot how old he was when Fruitvale Station came out, but this was right before that. And I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, wow, like this is a normal thing for people to go through when you're building a brand, building a story, or just building a name for yourself. It's going to be the ups and downs, and during the ups, you're thriving. You might not be thinking too much about the downs, but when the downs come and you're thinking about your ups, like, oh, I was there, how am I going to get back to that point? You can get discouraged, but let this video, and I know I always say this, but let this video be a sign for you just not to give up, you know? That video, like, last night really stuck to me. I'm like, wow, bro literally had a negative 1,800 in his account. And I'm sitting there, like, some people panic when they, like in the negatives in general, negative $1. People start panicking. Oh, my goodness, what am I going to do? And I'm realizing, yo, all right, you got there. How can you get yourself out? Now, sometimes some of it has to do with, like, just stewarding your money correctly. That's something I had to learn, right, early on in business. Like, after this pop-up, I learned, make sure you steward your business money a lot more better now. You know, just be very wise and stuff like that in terms of where you put your money. What else? Buying unnecessary extra inventory. Don't do nothing like that. Like, just be wise, you know? So that's something I had to learn. Even like fabric, I love fabric. So like just being wise in terms of don't buy fabric if you don't really have the vision just yet, unless you have like that extra funds for that, you know? So I would say overall, that's something that that's something I just wanted to talk about. Literally last night, I'm like, yo, talk about this. Make this a podcast episode, because that's something that really stuck out to me. Just because you see your account in the negative, just because you're quote unquote low or down bad, as they say, like you're okay. Like trust the vision that God gave you, and understand that this is the vision that God gave to you. So now, if someone else panics about that, don't be the one to panic. Be like, okay, I trust my God, and I understand that He's about to do something, that He's going to give me an idea to bring me right back up, and He's going to bring people into my life to help me. So just be willing to stay down, you know, as they say, just stay down until you come up, you know, stuff like that. But you guys got it. Remember, if you see a negative, don't panic. Don't panic. I know it's stressful, especially when you have bills. I get it. Like, now I have regular expenses into my personal life, and now I got business stuff. So it's like, oh, this is a lot of stuff at one time. But I'm like, okay, I'm 24 years old now. If I don't do it now, when I'm older, I may look back and say, dang, I wish I did this, you know? So just remain, of course, stay humble through it all, though. Stay humble. Give all glory to God. Thank Jesus every day. I'm trying to tell y'all. That's, if you want to know how I really got through and how I continue to stay so positive, it's because of that. It's because of Jesus Christ. It's because just the people I keep in my life now. Like, being so intentional with everything in your life is so important, man. The friends you keep around you, the conversations you have, please take that serious, because when you're in those down moments like that, and then you're around other entrepreneurs or other people who's so serious about what they want to do, you will not feel alone. You'll get good advice. And then if you around people who believe in Jesus Christ too, you get godly counsel. So I'm telling you, man, like, just trust God, trust the vision, understand that when you're down, you're okay. Trust me when I tell you, you're okay. If you see that negative, just in case, you're okay. Just trust that God is about to do something, and that you're about to get an idea that's going to change your life for the better. So